So, I know we all have embarrassing stories in our life, but let me tell you something that happened, and I don't think I'll ever forget about it. Back like 2 years ago, once I graduated high school, I got into backpacking. And if you don't know what that is, it's like camping, but like extreme. And so you'd go out, you'd have usually you find sources of water using a filter or boiling it, whatever you do. Um, and I would use whatever was available to me at the time, and usually I had a water filter. But I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked the last time I went. And so after that trip, it was just constant stomach pains, like cramps every after I eat, just always it just hurt. And so finally, after about 2 weeks of dealing with it on my own, I went straight to the doctor to talk to him, and what happened was just awful. So I went into the doctor's office and talked to him, and that's always an awkward conversation in the first place. But it wasn't the doctor's visit that was bad, because he gave me a over-the-counter prescription and told me to go get a test done, and that's all I knew. And so I went to the testing area after I was done talking with him and sat there, waited my time in line, and I saw this really, really cute girl, really pretty. And so I started talking to her, just waiting, passing the time, whatever, just talking about their day, talking about what she does here and all that. And I find out she's the testing lady. And so I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't get called by her. Well, that's exactly what happened. Is I walk up there and it's her. It's this girl. And so I'm like, oh. She starts typing my name in, and then she looks at me and she's like, oh, you're here for the stool test, right? And those words right there just struck a chord. Everything that we talked about, the conversation was dead, completely dead. And so she looks down, she goes back, grabs a big bag, like this huge bag, and just says, here you go. Do you want to do it here or at home? You can bring it back tomorrow. And I didn't even have a second. I didn't even think about it. I just grabbed that bag, ran out the door. We're straight out the door. And so the next day comes, and I'm thinking, like, it cannot get worse than that. That was so bad. But I walk straight into the testing area, and it's her again. And I got this piece of meat inside the bag. I look at her, and she looks at me and smiles. And I can't do anything. I just gave it to her, ran straight out the door. Completely just embarrassed, just didn't even want to talk about what happened that day. And then about a week later, I get the test back, and there's nothing even wrong. Like, completely fine. Whatever I had was just gone. So that sums out the worst embarrassing moment I've had in any medical facility ever. It's awful. Never want to live it again.